and I came to Costa Rica for the first time in December 2014 following a fundraiser that we did as part of another project. Came to Perez Celedon, where Nicole was actually from, to do workshops with the youth and then Women's Association in the region. And we learned a great deal about the challenges and different experiences that people had and the stories that they had coming from an agricultural, solely agricultural based community. A lot of people were not able to come to our workshop because of it being the harvest season. Back in the day, we didn't really have coffee in our mind, and our main interest was on economic development and empowerment. So we spent a month just learning about their stories, but not necessarily having any idea attached to the stories that we were learning. After that, we went to Spain for a semester, during which we improved our Spanish a lot. Initially, we were a group of 7 friends, and we just were brewing an idea of wanting to do something together. And Abhi and I have stayed in Costa Rica during the harvest season, and we learned a little bit about coffee industry. So we just asked ourselves, why not start investigating a little bit more? And we were very fortunate to receive a Lilly grant that allowed us to be able to travel across Indiana. So we took classes, cupping classes on history of coffee in consuming countries like the US. Our group got consolidated to be about 5 people. Last year, following our graduation, the 4 of us came to Costa Rica to do a little bit more of an investigation with a more focus around gender dynamic that exists in the coffee industry. We learned while we were here in 2014 about the gender issues from the Women's Association, but it was from one community, and we wanted to learn from a wider community in Costa Rica. So we spent about 2 months visiting and staying with different farmers, and we also learned from other people in the community that had similar experiences. So we documented the stories and started sharing those stories through our social media in order to raise awareness about the issue. We started playing with this idea of wanting to roast the coffee in the origin. We started with a small crowdfunding project. So we started receiving support from our family and friends who were interested in buying a very small batch of coffee. It was, I think, the first pilot of our model that we have right now. As you can imagine, not everything went well. One, the quality control was crucial, and it was very difficult when it's not centralized in the farming community. So we had a few farmers roasting in their own house using pen. Some were roasting in a local roasting facility, which is what we recommended. But we soon realized that it was very difficult to control all of that. And another thing that we quickly learned was the standard of packaging that's expected from the consuming country and what they were able to offer on the ground. We soon realized those mistakes that we made, and as you can see, if you've been following us for a while, you can see the evolution of the packaging and quality of the roasting that we've been having for the past 1 year.
We learned a great deal of things, about packaging, about not having the kind of business knowledge to be able to turn this idea into a full-grown venture. And that's when we got an opportunity via one of our mentors to apply for this program called Watson Institute. It's a social enterprise accelerator. It's based out of Boulder, Colorado. So I got this email about this wonderful opportunity. If you had a good idea, if you had done some of the ideation work in the entire process, then this was kind of the space for you. So I discussed with our team. We realized that this was going to be our best opportunity for us to continue working on this venture. We basically jumped off the cliff and we said we will participate in Watson. We applied, and we were very honored to have been accepted amongst 20 other social entrepreneurs from around the world. We spent about 4 months in Colorado, in Boulder. During that time, we got the opportunity to build our business model, make it a bit stronger and more sustainable. We were also very lucky to receive some grant funding. A lot of doors started opening up for us, and that basically led us to have a more structured venture, which is what now everyone knows as Voyage. The rest of this past year, we've kind of focused on bootstrapping, so using some of the kind of initial startup funding that we got and use it to generate more revenue for the farmers. And we started working with 2 farmers in the beginning of this year, and over the year we've basically managed to enroll 16 women coffee producers. So what's unique about the Voyage model is that it basically hands the agency of the whole coffee process in the hands of women coffee producers, right? So basically, so far, a lot of the companies, what they do is they come into these communities, they tend to pay a so-called premium price, which is a few cents more than what they usually get paid from normal companies and corporations. What we do at Voyage is that we don't say that we're going to pay you a higher price. We actually say we will actually provide you the training so that you can keep the entire process of coffee production, processing, roasting, and packaging in your own community, and through that you're able to earn most of the revenue yourself. There's a famous saying in the coffee industry that the further you are away from the plant, the more income you will earn. We want to change that. We really want to democratize the whole process so that the farmers, and especially in this case female coffee producers, have that agency so that they don't just produce coffee cherries and sell it off to large corporations or cooperatives, but they actually process their own coffee in their own farm, usually in their own backyards. Then they actually roast it in their own community center, and then they package it and then they ship it directly to consumers. Basically, it allows them to earn 300 to 400% more income than before. We've divided the entire process into 3 different steps. So the first step is the regional formation. We form regional groups of different female coffee producers. So far, we've been working in the Los Santos region. So we basically gather them in one location and we partner with a local organization in the community so that we can use the space and partner with them to provide training on a regular basis. The second step of the process is the training program. The training program is usually divided into 16 weeks throughout the year. It starts from March of every year and it ends in October, culminating in a graduation ceremony. The training is divided into focus on soft skills, production, processing of coffee, and then finally the roasting of coffee. And each of these sessions are focused on specific themes, and we invite different organizations and different experts on the subject matters to come and provide these training to our farmers. Final step of the process is the market facilitation. It's not just enough for us to provide them the training to know, produce better coffee and know the quality of their own coffee. We also have to provide some kind of access to the market so that they have direct connection with consumers. We use the Voyage platform to be able to connect a lot of these farmers to consumers like yourselves. You have the opportunity to buy your coffee directly from a producer. So when you buy a bag of Voyage coffee, it doesn't come from a mixed pool of coffee from all over Costa Rica. It comes from the specific farmer and the farm where it has been produced.
This is the year that we both took on the role as a full-time staff for Voyage, and we've been in Costa Rica for the past 7 months. Most recently, we finished enrolling 16 new farmers to our program. It was just really exciting to learn about their stories and also to see them excited about the future workshops, building partnerships with some big organizations that are doing really great work in the field. For instance, we recently met with Kimberly from Partnership for Gender Equity, which is doing an amazing job in the field of coffee industry in regards to gender equity, and she shared her valuable guided advice and experiences with us, which has been amazingly supporting the work that we want to be doing. We also had an opportunity to meet with a few Q-grade instructors in the work. We learned a great deal from them as well, and we're meeting every day new organizations and discovering different ways that things have been happening in the field in order to improve the situation and the challenges that a lot of these female farmers are facing. We've also been very fortunate to receive enormous support from the consumers. We have also initiated selling in Costa Rica, which has been quite a highlight. We're learning a lot about different trends that exist in different countries, what they like in terms of their roast type or process type, and we're learning a great deal. Recently, we've also started our B2B approach. So we were up until now solely B2C, and we are expecting to launch our B2B approach early on in 2018. Last but not least, we have been very fortunate to have met such amazing team. So we are right now a group of 7 teammates. We've been learning so much from everybody on the team, and it's been such a pleasure, humbling experience for us to learn and grow with the team that shares the same value that we have. the question that we always get about scalability, one thing that we want to do with Voyage and our model is that we ensure a sustainable source of income for the farmers that we work with. And a lot of the questions that we get is always about scalability because we are not able to expand so quickly, and that also tags along with another challenges that not being able to receive huge grant or like funding to do our work because of this aspect. We don't want to scale our work just so that we are able to gain more money or just expand our work just for the sake of it. We want to work really well in order to ensure that we are guaranteeing the experiences and the quality of the experiences that we are able to give to the farmers that we are working with right now in smaller scale. In the future, we want to be scaling our work, but that wouldn't necessarily mean we are going to jump off tomorrow and say, hey, 1,000 new farmers.
2018 is going to be a very, very exciting year for us at Voyage. A few of our partnerships have kind of solidified very well, so we're really excited to kind of get that into action. We're also really excited to kind of focus on the 16 women coffee producers that we've enrolled so far and provide them with those kind of regular interval training programs so that they can graduate. Our first graduating class will be graduating in October 2018, and it will be a group of 18 people, the 2 from last year and the 16 from this year. So we're really excited to see how that graduation will play out. As it's our first time, we're really excited to see what we'll learn from that experience and kind of iterate for the year 2019. The second thing we're really excited about is our B2B partnership. Businesses, coffee shops, and other kind of coffee consuming businesses can subscribe to the coffee from specific farmers, and each office or each coffee shop will be subscribed to a specific farmer, and they'll get their year's worth of supply of coffee from that farmer roasted directly from the community. That allows for offices and coffee shops to have greater connection with the source of their coffee, and we're hoping to kind of launch that in a larger scale in January of 2018. And finally, we're also excited to kind of grow our market presence. So this year we've worked with a lot of people in the United States. We've had a great deal of success in South Korea, where we've made some limited edition shipments. This year we're also excited to explore the European market, starting from Germany. So we've started already with a limited edition shipment to Berlin. So we're really excited to see how the European market reacts to this kind of coffee, and most importantly to the story and the work that we're doing. So far we've gotten overwhelming support from Germany, so we're hoping to kind of continue on that momentum. Final thing is we're really excited about our further expansion of our program in other communities. We'll be doing a bit of expansion in the south of Costa Rica, working with some more rural and indigenous and vulnerable communities that produce coffee but haven't gotten the kind of recognition and the training. So we're really excited to kind of expand our training program there. We're also really excited about a potential expansion of our program in Guatemala. So we'll be doing a lot of travels to these different countries and communities to see and find more female coffee producers and see if we can enroll them into our program. Truly want to really thank you for the support that you've provided, whether you've been a friend, whether you've been a first-time customer that we met at a market, whether you've been a mentor and a supporter from the very beginning. Every one of you has provided the support for Voyage to grow to where it is right now. We had never imagined a year ago that we would have grown this fast and this well in just 1 year's time, and we've learned a great deal. And through all of those mistakes and challenges that we faced, you've been there supporting us and providing us that kind of guidance to what should be next. So we're truly, truly very, very grateful to each and every one of you for your support.
I personally feel like I've grown a lot, all thanks to you, and I think our venture wouldn't be where it is if it wasn't for your support and belief in our work. So we are very grateful, and thank you so much for all the support, all the kind words and advice and guidance that you've shared with us. Happy New Year, and we hope to continue seeing you in the year 2018.